They're asking a lot of trust of me, and we've just met.
BP is the beat of us. Be your limit you can trust. Boom boom is the beat of us. Let's step we on the beat. BP only you can touch. It's all a rush, can feel the trust. Boom boom is the beat.
Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here with the reaction lottery winner. Shout out to Leonie. So sorry if I said your name wrong, but I did a lottery over on the Patreon side and this was one of the selected entries. This is Bus in their track BB. I have no idea who they are. I've never seen anything from them, I don't even think I've dived into this realm of the pop world yet, which I'm really excited for. We have a music video, performance video, and a dance practice. What was requested was the performance video, but we'll most likely do a choreography review on the dance practice side. We'll see which one gives the most love. I'm ready. I hope you are. Let's watch. Sure, we are turned up. Okay. Assuming that all of these people are part of Bus. Oh. It's like a little seductive sound to it, doesn't it? Can feel the thrust. That sand look was cool. Oh, cool. Very intrigued about how the choreography is going to be here, because you have a lot of numbers in the group. That's a cool visual. Ooh. Bus beats bounce bang. They're asking a lot of trust of me, and we've just met. Oh. Beyond limits you can trust. Oh, okay. Interesting flow here with the arm on the throat. Did they actually thrust? Oh, you've saved her! Congratulations! The different, like, classical instruments in play here, fun too. Oh, da-da. He ain't even looking. Oh, with the look at the end. Oh, okay. Do we get to see who made the choreography? I love credits like this, but this is in the way. Ah, hold on. Oh, watch it be like right there, and I can't even see it. Okay, it's okay, guys. I'm sure the performance version maybe will be able to see all that information. It's probably in the, what is it? In the description too. Let me go dig. Okay. So this had a very similar movement and sound to Deer Hunter, and it checks out because the same choreographer who choreographed Deer Hunter choreographed this. Deer Hunter from Anteam. Okay, so now I have a better headspace on what this is about to be. Here we go. Oh, that's so cool. I've already seen what kind of fingerprint and choreography we're going to be dealing with. In an entirely new world of pop. I think this is Thailand pop, right? There's so many guys. How fun. You could do so much with these numbers. Tension on the tail end of it was nice. That alliteration, I don't even know if I can say it consistently well. They're doing well. Oh, do you see his shirt? There's more holes than fabric. How do you put it on? Sorry, I'd get my hand caught in one of the holes.
One head, now I'm in your zone and second head. I lost the control, moved on every head. Pat tat, scoop tea like kick a shit, kissing it, just like a boom boom.
Boom boom.
You can see the fire running inside. Can't get your kid, we're both in bed, we're right. I can't come and come and come and
That was a really good isolation that we saw with the pull and the hips there.
Bounce back, baby, the speed of us. Beyond you can trust. Boom boom is the beat of us. Let's take beyond the beat. Baby, you can touch. It's all a rush, can feel the thrust.
Hey.
Boom boom is the beat of us.
Do they actually thrust on the word thrust? This is not that they're incapable. They obviously showed it in the second verse. Like even there, right? They actually accent back. It's a pretty conservative way of interpreting thrust, right? It's still teasy though. Nice. A lot of tension. Our legato choices. Nice. Cool stuff here. Now, inside note, I have no idea how which of these videos will make it to YouTube, if any, because I don't know the copyright situation of labels in Thailand. If I'm still getting the right country, because I do know in the J-pop space the dance practices get cleared, but every other type of footage doesn't. And then in K-pop, most of the time it's pretty okay, unless the agency's like no, or it's a collaboration. So okay, dance practice. I'm kind of hoping for a fixed cam. Here we go. It was totally fun seeing the performance version though. I love the squeaky squeaks. of our shoes. Yeah. Nice. Ah. Where I go. Hey. Hey, okay. Hey. I like the hey. That kind of stuff can help in the space. So it is pretty safe to assume we're getting a fixed cam, and it looks like a one take. Thank you, boys, for that. Because we can appreciate the choreography so much more. Yeah. Cool. Nice. It's interesting how isolated this is. Do they wait? They're like, do we break out of it? Yeah. I love it. It's either we fall on the floor. Huh, okay. I like that they had this at the end. That was cute. Because I can infer a couple things about that. So none of them look overly fatigued, so we're not dropping in the ground. So good chance this isn't the most complex choreography they've ever done. Sorry, not complex, because that's a different thing being measured. Difficulty on the body. I'm gonna say this one's not because of how they're responding, right? Because normally you have more people on the floor. Like, that's just what you normally see. Okay, guys, this is exciting stuff. So if you don't know me, I feel like some of you, this may be your first video with me because it's a new realm of pop here. I'm Jess. And what we do is, I mean, that was like my reaction portion that we just uncovered. But what I primarily focus on is the choreography. And we get to talk about what makes the choreography work for the type of track. What are some really cool things? What are some areas that I would think would be really interesting to workshop to potentially enhance the already existing concept in play. Some educated guesses are gonna get thrown in here, just for fun. And if anything, I do have a couple questions that those of you who are fans of this group or who are fans of the pop scene that they are a part of, I would love to know, what are the focuses that typically are expected from the general public and when they watch a routine from this particular niche of pop? Because in the K-pop side, synchronicity, lines, there's a really heavy vanity focus, right? And complexity, crew choreography has really been on the forefront for the Gen 5 scene. For J-pop, definitely you have a huge professional dancer, kind of niche of movement in terms of complexity and types of techniques, but there's more individuality that's accepted in the J-pop space. Now, what I just said is not meaning that K-pop doesn't have that. No, I'm just saying that normally there's a separation between professional dancers and idols, but in the J-pop space, it's kind of more meshed, where you can do both pretty easily, which I think is really cool, right? So don't take any of that as a assumption. It's just from what I've observed. Here, what are we expecting? Are we supposed to hold them to a degree of synchronicity? Are we supposed to focus on individuality? Are we focused on concept and storytelling and performance and theatrics? I don't know. So I'm looking forward to knowing what those priorities are, because I feel like there's going to be some overlap, but also some differences that tie to the culture. Okay, we're going to talk through it all. Okay, so we're going to have a nice little separation. We go over into two different columns, and then we end up taking it, separating it, we end up stepping back to help interlock with our neighbor that we separated from in a fun little ripple, little bleed over energy, and then we end up taking it, we hold each other, we have a little tap tap. I really like the clarity of the steps for that. We hold it. Yes, in performance version we were able to see that moment really clearly, which was cool. Little feature moment, party of him. They take it, they break apart, little speed change. I like the head rotation. They drop a level, then they hit it doom 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 on the music, so we're able to hear that part of the music quite clearly because we have movement that works with it. They open it out in, so we do a really good job on levels and direction changes and ripples. Super fun. So they open up, and I really appreciate the mirrored range. So when it comes to being clean, some things that get looked at are going to be your timing. So whenever you're hitting an A and a B of a move, so let's say this happens on 5 and this happens on 6, that would be the 5 and the 6. That's your timing. Make sure that's clean. Not only that, the amount of time in between. How do you resonate with the sounds that happen between these two movements or these endpoints, right? This also has to be clean. We call that range. So they did very good on that. Mirrored, meaning that we had two of those guys have their arms in range. They descended at the same rate, which makes it look very clean and symmetrical, which is really cool. So we drop it down to like the feature moment. We take the head up, pulling it through. I really like that we pulled it, where we lowered that knee. And part of some of them, I bet, probably had banged that knee on accident. It happens. And then I like that we have the openness come on. That was a fun ripple with the interlock on the wrist. Fun teasy, like we're bound moment out of that. Ever since finding, if Google is correct, it's the same choreographer that did Deer Hunter, it makes so much sense why it's structured this way. There's a lot of tease to it. I'm looking forward to seeing, while we do an observation and walk through it, what are some things that we catch that are fingerprints, which are fun. But the intimacy of the hands, so the focus on them. Sometimes we open them, sometimes we enclose them. The priority of making sure that our hand is always purposeful, because it's such a feature moment throughout the routine. I think it's really fun, and they do a pretty good job of that, especially collectively. I like the subtlety of that body roll that made it look like it was being enhanced because of these fingers that were traveling down. Come on, transition. We have everybody lift up at the same rate, which looks really good. They drop it in, they hit it, they fling it. We have a little energy happening, or moment happening with two guys up top. And they swing that arm up and over. Come on, boom, you better move it over to the side. That's fun. Come on now with a lift. I normally see a lift like that over on the HHI circuit, which is really fun. That was fun. They take it through. They drop them down. New group. The beauty of these numbers, I counted 11 people in this. That's looking close to 17 type of numbers you're playing. You can do a lot with that, which is what I already mentioned. You already basically have a mega crew here, because if you didn't know, HHI, I believe you have to have 11 members or more for it to be considered a mega crew. So there you go. They could compete straight out if they wanted to. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so I like that we have different groups that become really fun options. So they take a little ISO going into the hips, or it's very nice and clear that we want to isolate down to the lower body so we can have these crisp snap sounds be justified in the upper body. It's cool. They're looking down. Head is fun. Then we end up taking it, bleeding it through on the second one, so creating more tension and filling up that part of the music a little bit more. Before we transition, we rotate it, and I think they talk about eyes there, and then they end up moving it forward, wrist rotation down. He ends up creating more of a strobe or interruption of flow. I can't clock if it's taking or strobing, so that would be an observation here. If you wanted to improve that, try to be clear on establishing which one you're doing, because ticking would be more explosive, right? It's a transition of multiple ticks that you would see in popping, right? And then you would have with strobing, it's dime stops, a sequence of dime stops. So those will read differently in the space. So I think we're just going to call it interruption for now, but I like that everybody's responding as a result of his choice there. Fun feature moment there. Then he doubles it over. Da, da, and I like the trace down, and then you have a little not partner, but a little trio going in, variant levels. The point, they open it up, pull it in, and he says, come here. I like the conversational gesture of that. That was cool. Bring it in. Bus, what is it? Bus, beat, bounce, and then the bad. Bang. So I forgot what it was. Yeah, that is an alliteration, and that's tricky for me. Love it. I haven't been very good at those. So you have it. It is isolated, going out in with those knees. And most people, yeah, we're placing our weight on the balls of the feet. That really helps in the isolation. And you don't want your upper body to be too influenced by this bounce effect going on. They bring it in. I like the little toe tap behind. You can touch. Where it goes head, shoulders to hips. And then it goes vroom vroom, where it's like they're revving up a motorcycle, and I like the hit on those legs there. Now that part I find interesting. It looks like this is influencing the lower body. Normally, I'm used to seeing this type of move cater to the torso because it's really close and focal point. And if my eye is here, it's easier to catch this. I don't mind the choice though. It's interesting. And then it turns into an add-on where you have most of your members have their arms by the hips. And then you have 3 of your members with one arm by the hip and one by the head. And then they do a little sway going in on that hip, which I find to be fun. Do they do a pop? What do they do there? Some are going here, where they're accenting with the tricep. I don't know what they're accenting there. Huh. Oh, I think it's the back, and then just you see the arms get influenced. It's very subtle, so then they take the arm up using that as a little pony. No, I mean, kind of like a pony, but they use that transition to get us to a new spot. And then they have a little accent with the hip. That's like a hip accent to the front there. They trace it, and then they hit it through. So that's like the closest thing I've seen to a thrust so far. Thrust. And then I like that my feature ends up singling out this move that we've already been acquainted with as a feature moment. Everybody else deviates into something different. They just do a body roll, which is nice. So they're able to use their torsos, which is nice. A lot of times you may see people overstiff themselves, and what I mean by that is a lot of your extremities are taking the load on texture, but your torso is, by not engaging in texture, is disconnecting the intention of your movement. And so in the course, at least, it looks really nice. I think there was one part where near the end it was starting to look like we were tensing up, but that could just be circumstance on the move sequence. So as we uncover that, I'll have more clarity in that. So I like the lift up. I like the accent going in with the hand and the foot with the head to match. It's fun. Then they switch it, they press it back. I like that they have the hip sway here. What's also interesting is I have zero clue if this is a new movement style for the group. That's kind of fun, is that I'm going in right in the middle, getting thrown into the depths of a group in a genre that I don't know much about outside of, just in passing. I mean, I have a colleague who works for one of the agencies in Thailand, and so her name is on a few of those, so maybe we'll take a look at those for fun to support her. But Yeah, I can't tell you any, have we improved? Have we regressed? I can't tell you any of that stuff like I normally can on a marathon group. Um, which is kind of the beauty of the mystery, is that it really does open up a lot of area for discussion from you guys to help frame and shape how you want this to go about whenever, if we ever have the opportunity to look at them in the future. I'd say why not? This is fun. But they're doing pretty decent so far. I like the heels on that. Bring it forward. They open it in. The little knocks are fun, and I like the head helping influencing the direction of the torso as we shift it in our weight from the back to front, at least from our vantage point, even though they're facing side. And then they trace it down, so they continue on the choice that was a polyrhythm whenever they're bouncing with it, and then they're creating these teasy traces. Those are really fun and complementary to each other for a choreo like this. Oh, it's must replayed. I see why. Isolation's nice. So we're just taking movements that we've seen comprised throughout the course, and we're conclusion, like making them as a small conclusion at the end. Like all of this, we saw this before we got into the course, and then those knees were at the beginning of it as well. And then bounce back, they all break away. Come on now. I really like the second verse. So we have the feature moment, da da da, very nice, isolated, and subtle, right? Where they travel. I heard that loud and clear in the music because they were able to replicate the sound effectively in movement. They lean it back, cool. And then they ball change it, ball change, ball change. They hit it, the pull is nice. Bring it up, they drop it down. Little tease with the pull on the pant there, or the crotch. It happens. And they have it. They're saying thrust in their dance. I'm like, I'm expecting some crotch pulls, right? I'm actually surprised that we didn't go more seductive in the floor work. I like the tastefulness of it. It's really nice, but it's on brand with the Deer Hunter aesthetic, where even Deer Hunter didn't cross the line with those members of Ann Team either, where it's like, oh, it's like smexy time, right? So it has a really nice classy seductiveness to it, which could be their intention. I don't know, but it's fun. It's very fun to watch. The accent with the chest into the knees is also really nice. Rotates it through, drops it down. The slide in is nice. I really like how they ended up reversing it, but also establishing level on the first half of it. So he pulls it, he drops it down. Come on, we're going yum yum yum, little body roll out of it, and then they end up joining him in the body roll, but they start on a different timing and they're using both arms. So I like that we shared the dynamic. That was really cool. The pull through is cool. The knee is also really nice out of that. He crosses, he sends it down. I like the speed. He's frozen there. Everybody does a body roll. Come on, parkour. New feature. Swings the arms around, opens it up. I like that they dropped the level but still complimented his choice. Then we have other members. They're just setting up on the side. They're not doing too much there. They hit it out and there's that little crash in the music that it looked like we saw there. Accent with the hips. Yeah. And the rhythm, I think rhythm? And then rhythm we hear with our ears, so I like that we catch that there. They join back in, out, in. You better pass off the energy so everybody else stops moving or they stop engaging in content and then they move to a new spot. So that was interesting. But I think they all reset effectively, which is why I think that was okay. Because if they just, did a combo, which is what it looks like, right? Rhythm, and they walk to a new spot and they're still actively near that center and they just stayed, just kind of chilling, that would be an observational note where I would think that maybe establishing a more clear direction after you're done with your focal point moment, or helping the audience be able to see the next group more clearly. But since they, redirected and then they looked, I really like the freeze frame moment out of that. So if you were paying attention to the group on the side, you sure are now because you're the only ones moving. They took a nice little accent thrust there, trace tease. Call that it's a trace, but we're teasy about it because of either where we're tracing or the context of lyrics or context what we did before and after. That's what I mean by that. Come on now, everyone's frozen there except for your feature. They all break off, some go off. They hit it through, and then we take it through. Now it does look like we're going side to side instead of front to back or figure eight, which is cool. That's fun. I like the hays. Those are fun. Those can be very motivational in the space, regardless of how difficult or how simple something is. Having people going, hey, it definitely can get you on the synergy side. be able to have a second wind, a third wind if needed in a space. Because sometimes dances are hard, and being able to hype each other up through the pain really goes a long way. It helps as a motivator, especially in these spaces where you don't have an audience that helps on the adrenaline. You just have each other and you've been around each other all the time. So that's a really nice, helpful aid in the space. I like it. And then we ended up taking it side, and then we build it up through the usage of the torso, making it more legato, more body rolls in play. We look it in, then we travel it forward, new feature. Then he ends up doing a little interruption. Is that the same guy? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know any of them, so maybe. We hold it through, and then we take the shoulders, a little Harlem shake with a bedrock. Hold on. What are we doing here? And boom. Yeah, not a full-on bedrock. Bedrock is a bleed through. It looks similar to a Pac-Man move where you bleed through the ball of the foot to the heel. This one was just a place, ball, heel, but not in any sequence that you could measure like that. The focus based on this looks like a Harlem shake, which was fun. A little chill one at that. Bring it from hip to hip. The head is nice. Pull it. We're here for that. I like the woo, come on, partner moment. And then this little moment. Is this the tag for bus? Maybe. I don't know. Because they talk about bus. Their group. Possibly. He's like, come here. So everyone's on the side. They're focused. They're cheering. Twinkle is nice with the accent is cool. He goes vroom vroom. So he's having to hold it down by himself, but then everybody joins back in. And I like the full circle moment here. Have those arms across. And he has beat beat with the hips accenting on those words. Then we end up taking it, travel it through, tap, tap, taps. They go vroom, vroom. And then beat of us. I think it was here. Because we're seeing the sequence, but just repackaged from what we've seen in the previous courses, it does look on the stiffer side. I don't think it's because they're fatigued. I think it's just how the sequence is. Because even the first time, they didn't have a lot of torso engagement outside of just being engaged. Engagement meaning they were contributing through texture or dynamics within the torso outside of just being there and engaged. So I think it's fine. Nothing looks out of place there. Tap behind, head, shoulders to hips. Vroom, vroom. And then beat of us. That one, I think, because it's not from the side, it's from the front. That one looked very isolated compared to the usual ones of this. That's what I was clocking. And then you go sway, sway. That little beat, beat. I'm assuming that's a double rock back there instead of an accent with the hips or the arms. Sorry. And then thrust. So we're in a thrust. Okay. Beat of us. I wonder if it also looks a little marked. And what I mean by marking, so there's two different things that get talked about often. There's going full out, which means going 100% max capacity of movement and whatever you're being asked to do. And then there's marking, which is you're mentally present and you are thinking about the dynamics and you're thinking about the details of the routine, but you're not going 100% output on energy. That's what that reminds me of, is that we're doing the dynamic, but it's not nearly as impactful as the first go around. But I don't think it's fatigue. It could just be, I don't know, format. And I think that's fine. Happens. Because I didn't catch it in the dance, I did in the performance video, and that would be where, if I even noticed it there, that would be the actual note. But because it's a dance practice, fixed cam, one take, we pick our battles. So the accent is nice with the head ISO. We pull it back. We've already seen this entertained, right? There's your figure eight. Notice the figure eight was a little bit different than the shake side to side, right? So that subtlety, I like the finger accent there. They get low with the shoulders to help they get engaged. Drop the level even lower. He brings it up. And then we bring it to the outside. Then we go knock. So we've already seen that entertain. I think it was at the end of the first chorus. It looks nice to have it here as the outro. We push it away, out in, tap, tap, taps. Then and now these cheers gave the impression, okay, this is our outro. We got to go for it. We're almost done. We are 3 minutes and 14 seconds into this. This is a pretty fatiguing, long song, but we're here for it. Then we do a little body roll. The knock, notice there's more energy here. We double it up with that knee. We go head, and then we double where we have it. We interrupt the flow, and then we open it up. Really nice there. We tap, subtlety in the hands, and then we do a single, down, and we go boom, boom. We have the two bases, and I like that we interrupt the flow collectively there. And we point, knees, knees, and then we sway, sway, low down, so we mess with timing. We had everybody and their mama drop onto their knees, except for our previous feature. So he got out of it. Look at him. Or maybe that was just a one-off thing. New features up to bat. And it goes bus. I wonder if that's their logo. Boom. Beat. Bounce. And then they bring it behind. And then we have a nice little body roll. And we hold it. Now, let's look at how they're finishing. Some of them are pressed up with a different line than those who have tilted the head. Do you see my guy in most center and then my guy was my previous feature? They have two different looks. I think both look fine. I'm curious if the intention was for everybody to have a subtly different posture finish, because sometimes people do want that. But if they were like, we want to be squeaky clean, that would be something that you would look at, is head tilt positioning. But all in all, I enjoyed this. I thought this was fun. I like looking at styles like this that have a tension tease behind it, because you can make a lot of cool pictures and it's not always in your face so much. It's easier to read and be captivated by, which I really like. From the technique of the resistance of your texture compared to in your face. Both are cool, but I liked this a lot. And this was a really fun first watch of bus, or of the T-pop scene. Is that what we call it? I don't know. Also, one more thing to tack on to what I asked in the beginning on what is the scope or the soundscape in the Thailand pop space. Gosh, what if I'm wrong? What if they're not Thailand? Hold on. Okay, they're a Thai group. Everybody's from Thailand except for there's one member who's not. They're from Korea. But what, 3, 6, oh, I guess there's 12. I just miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Somebody was off. Okay. Like off screen whenever I counted originally. So there's 12 members, not 11. But still, we're pulling heavy numbers here. The choreography didn't come across like we had an even number, which I would applaud for, because sometimes that can mean that you sacrifice seeing somebody in the back. That way, let me see. Yeah, so to finish and refine my question, are live vocals expected in Thailand? Because in Japan the answer is yes. In K-pop space it depends. In America it depends. And so I just like to learn more about it so we get better. I get better at being able to review these in a more contextual way. But yeah, this was so fun. Once again, my name is Jess. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more, we may watch more eventually of the T-pop scene, but I look at a ton of group choreographies where we can all enjoy and grow together, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.